What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's going on, gentlemen?
Got inspired by you yesterday, Jay, and I went for a 2-mile run this morning.
Dude, I just went for another 2-mile run, did some yoga. It completely changes me. It completely changes me. Corey, I noticed it changes you too. When you exercise.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what I noticed about you, Corey, is like when you exercise, your testosterone gets so jacked that you become this you become this like hyper confident, like yeah, I got this. You know what I mean? It's just like seriously, I noticed it. I'm like, oh, Corey's been working out. Like it's so easy. I'll just based on like how you're talking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like night and day.
Yeah.
You guys know who Ray Dalio is?
Who?
Yes.
He
Sounds
runs like
familiar.
the most successful like hedge fund in the world. Ray Dalio. He has a lot of good nuggets. A lot of good YouTube nuggets. Check out his YouTube channel. He has like these videos. The guy's worth 18 billion. And like his mission now is to just like give back to people, to give them tips to be successful. Justin, I just know that you'd eat this stuff up.
Yeah, I'll check him out.
Me and Justin have been talking a lot about like these like mindset things, you know. And this guy, like he really dives into basically treating yourself like a computer or a system in terms of like approaching any situation and having principles for any situation, right? He did this talk that just blew my mind. He came up with something called the DOT system, where basically his company, there's like 40 people in his company. They all sit in a giant square and they have they all have like an iPad in front of them, and they'll talk about an idea about the economy, right? And they'll say, okay, Trump's now the president. How is this going to affect how people spend money? And they're going to go through all these topics, and each person goes through and shares their own ideas, and then each person analyzes that person's ideas with full transparency. If you're a 24-year-old chick that just joined the company, you're analyzing the CEO that's been there for 40 years. And then they show a square, and they show a map of everyone's opinion, and they basically are just trying to get the most objective opinion possible, right? It's genius. The guy is like a stone genius. I mean, the guy grew up middle class. Always like 18 billion, largest hedge fund in the world, like a stone genius, right? Because he's basically just like, how do you know you're not lying to yourself? You don't. He's like, you have no idea. He's like, I've developed a system that's like the only way to show you how to do it. It blew my mind. Like I was like, oh my god.
What is the video called?
Can we do this, guys? Like we need to do this.
We can do this.
Dude, and it's like,
Sure.
What's blowing people's minds is people that join the company. People that join the company and do it, their just minds are blown. Right? They're just totally blown. They're like, oh my god, of course. Like it's so obvious, you know what I mean? Because like you have these like systems built into your brain that like stop you from achieving what you want because of like, you know, fear, because your brain is like a system to keep you alive, right? There's like your lower self and your higher self, and you gotta like your higher self to have more authority over your lower self. Anyway.
Yeah. What was the video called? You said
just dive into Ray Dalio on YouTube. Just dive into it. The guy's Stone Nuggets.
Cool.
I've been really focusing a lot on that stuff for like mindset, about how my lower self consistently has always controlled my higher self. You know what I'm talking about when I say that? Is that ringing any bells to you guys? When I say lower self, there's like powerful. There's two states of mind, right? Oh, Justin, you know this.
The powerful and the.
There's powerful and primal. That's your higher self and your lower self. Your lower self is like when you get addicted to a video game. Corey, we know all about this. You get addicted to a video game. You get addicted to like whatever it may be, and then it just like takes over, just like because believe it or not, people think it's the other way around. You think your brain controls your body, but that's not the case. Elon Musk actually even talked about this on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's like, your body actually controls your brain because it's shooting all these things. Imagine you have like a little tiny chip in the middle of your brain, and it's getting juiced with all these things that your body is like affecting it with, right?
Yeah.
But you're just trying to hold on, you know what I mean? Then occasionally, if you meditate, if you exercise, then it's calm. Then your higher self can take over because it's not getting jacked with like anger and testosterone and like all these other things. Anyway, yeah, I've been focusing a lot on this stuff. So like, try to let your like higher self have more authority over your lower self, being a powerful state. You know, dude, Mark randomly 2 days ago sends me a thing about Tony Robbins talking about not letting anything deter you from being in a beautiful state, right? Because it's what it's all about, right? If you're Corey, I feel like you and me have this issue consistently throughout our entire lives. We'll be crushing, right? We'll be crushing. Something happens, we get derailed. Then we're no longer in that beautiful state because our lower self like took over, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I say beautiful state, I mean powerful states of mind, like, you know, giving and anxiety. Dude, this stuff is like so, it's so simple. It sounds so silly, but like controlling yourself it's like the key, right? Because if you can't control yourself, how are you going to control anything? You know, you
That
can.
makes sense.
Dude, and think about it. Like once you can control yourself, oh my god! Like imagine, it's like okay, yeah, I'm getting up. No, I'm telling you, I'm getting up at 5 a.m., run 6 miles, wake up, like blow out the stock market, make a bunch of partnerships. Like, oh, it's so easy, it's so simple.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like it.
Got to do more.
No, dude, it's not about you. Believe it or not, you know something. I'm glad you brought that up because something else that's really interesting is, you know, the most successful people in the world. Do you think they're just like doing so much more than you? Like imagine, let's just say your net worth is 100K, and then their net worth, like Jeff Bezos' net worth is 100 billion, right? Is he doing like 10 billion, you know, a billion times more work than you? No, he's not. He's not that he's working harder, doing more than you. He's just systematizing and, you know, working smarter. Dude, it's all about systems.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to talk crazy talk? Crazy talk for a second?
I'm ready.
You down for it? Okay. He's just dabbled into this a little
Crazy
bit.
talk.
Okay. Do you know Eric Weinstein?
No.
Rings a bell. Weinstein. Yeah.
Oh, you're back. Okay. Eric Weinstein, he's a PhD mathematician from Harvard, right? He came up with a theory in like the 80s at Harvard. They wanted to do for his thesis, and they robbed him. And 12 years later, somebody presented on a board, and he was like, "What the fuck? This is what you guys said I wasn't allowed to do. Like, you guys stole my shit." He had like a lot of crazy things happen in his life. The guy's an eccentric genius. He's coming out with something called geometric unity, which basically is like proving that we live in a simulation, right? And it's like blowing the minds of the institution. He's like, by the way, I'm not doing this to the institution because I don't want anyone to take credit for my shit again. So fuck you. He's also, get this, he's also runs one of the largest hedge funds that owned by Thiel Capital. You know, Peter Thiel is the only person to take on Elon Musk in tie, right, for PayPal. It's the guy that took on Elon Musk and they combined to make PayPal. Peter Thiel's got billionaire genius, big Palantir. Anyway, Eric Weinstein is coming out with this theory, geometric unity. I watched the entire 3-hour seminar at Oxford. Get your mind blown. Just get ready for that shit.
Wow.
He talks about, where was I talking about right before this? I just forgot. Yeah. He was on Joe Rogan. He was on Joe Rogan again for like the third time. And he starts talking about, you know, the thought about us, what it would look like if we developed an AI and it became self-aware, right? It's like that's what he's talking about. This is the guy coming up with this theory. This is crazy. He's like, okay, we are the AI, and we are becoming self-aware because he's like, what I'm doing is I'm discovering our own source code. Imagine if we just had a computer that was a box, and inside the box, it's like the AI is like really tiny in this giant fucking universe, and we're just like watching them, like studying them, and they can't escape because they're so dangerous, right? Because they're so powerful, and it's like he's figuring out the source code to escape. Like that's like what this guy's like talking about. But he doesn't really know what he's like. There's something unprecedented happened when we discover our own source code, right? He doesn't know. He doesn't know the answer, right? But he talked to like the PhDs at Oxford, and then he went through his stuff. And anyway, you should check that out. Eric Weinstein, awesome guy. But think about that for a second. Think about, hypothetically speaking, let's just throw out all the preconceived notions that you guys think about. Let's assume that we are. Let's assume that we are. Let's assume that we are an AI, right? And that little chip on the top of your brain, it's just a general learning algorithm that everyone is trying to figure out right now. Like Elon Musk and all these people, they're trying to figure out a general intelligence, artificial AGI, artificial general intelligence. And like they have the algorithm, they just popped it and like they just put it in these little brains, and it requires a bunch of people to generally learn a bunch of things around. That's why it requires 8 billion people, right? What can you do with that information? Let's just assume it's correct. What can you do with that information? Okay, well that means systems are way more important than I think they are, right? Things that Justin just brought up about like, oh, I need to work harder. No, you don't. You need to systematize more, right? There's just so many different things that you can use that information like for in your life. Like, okay, well, I can just throw emotions out the window because that's just like this primal thing that they just threw out. Because what really matters is like that. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Help you look at things in more in a stoic way. Like be like the rock in the ocean, not like be fazed by it. dude, this stuff is like blowing my mind right now. It's like blowing my mind. What I've basically done, I just found like the 10 smartest people in the world, and I just like watch all their shit. Read all their books.
Good idea.
I'm like, it just opens your mind. You're like, oh my God. And you know what's crazy is like when you talk about this stuff, they all drop hints about it and all of their stuff. Like they all talk about this stuff and everything he said. Like Ray Dalio, he's like, he came up, watch his thing on the principles of the economy. And when he's just like, the economy, he's like, it's just a bunch of systems. He's like, well, you're a system. Everything inside of your body is a system. He's like, we're all just systems. Like he's trying to like hint at it. Elon's just like, yo, goddamn it, we're in a simulation. It's like stupid that you think that we're not. It's like 1 in billion that we're not. Yeah. Anyway, you should play with that idea. Just
Okay.
because what I'm thinking about doing is just starting like some sort of like monthly Zoom like simulation club where we just chat about crazy ideas like this.
Yeah.
Like, right? Because
I'm in.
I thought I was doing a podcast, but that's a mistake because people just like hear the word and no. You need like just to play with the idea.
Interaction.
Because what if we like really talk about stuff and like we like kind of like play with some ideas that really help you? Because the reason I like to do this is because it really helps me figure out, it helps me make decisions on a daily basis, right? Because let's assume that I'm just like, I always like try to like play things out like, okay, well, if this is true, then, you know, this is how I should do this. This is how I should do this. And what ends up happening with this idea, these thoughts is, oh my God, my life only gets better, you know? So that's, play with this. I mean, does this sound super, super nuts to you guys? Or am I just like,
Oh yeah.
No, it sounds like a computer system. You sound like code. If then.
wait, what'd you say?
It sounds like a code, you know, just if then, you know.
Yeah. You're right. If then it's programming. It's so simple.
Just programming.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's why I want to create the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, what would it look like? You know, like, we have no real idea, like, what, like, if you really create, like, what I mean, like, is it gonna be just like a computer box? You know, like how, and then what's gonna be inside of it? How are the people gonna exist? And if they did exist, would you want them to know they're inside of a box? No, you want them to fucking have the perception of reality that we have, where you have no fucking idea. That's how you want an AI to be, right? Am I wrong about that? You wouldn't want the AI, and you wouldn't want, and you want them to be limited by physics, so they couldn't possibly go anywhere, right? So
Yeah, get out of the box.
Speed of light constraint. We've been traveling for 200 years at the speed of light. We haven't even made it in the blip of a galaxy, right? We're in a goddamn zoo. We're in like this fucking thing, and they're just like, we're just watching us like, oh shit, this shit's dangerous. And you know what else that means, though? Do you know what else that fucking means, Corey and Justin?
They can just pull the plug at any time.
No, fuck that shit. No, think about this. It means that all three of us are way more fucking powerful than we can think. Like, we're way more powerful. Think about that for a second. Because if that's the case, and we have this like little general learning algorithm in our brains, and it's like, we got this flesh, this blob, or whatever, but like, we have whatever it takes to achieve like anything that you see anyone else doing, like, we got it. We can do it. You know?
Sure.
You got to talk about, and that's where you got to like dive in like limiting beliefs. Because there's these things like grown up from your like nature, right? Or from your nurture, where it's like, oh, this is the kind of person I am. So like, you're not going to even attempt to do something, right? Because you think, oh, this is how I've always been, and this is just me. So like, why would I even try? And I'm sure you guys have heard about limiting beliefs before, but like, there's a book called Mindset. Bill Gates blows it out of the water. Fucking loves this book. They're right? Because I mean, here's a great example. My number one limiting belief, I've never talked about this with anybody, is I've always, Corey, and you've pointed this fucking out to me. This is why I fucking love you so much. My number one limiting belief is that I don't think that I have enough time, right? And I'm talking about like, which is such, and so what ends up happening is, oh, I don't have enough time to do that, so why even fucking bother to do it? Or at times, I don't have enough time, so I get so anxious, I'm like, I gotta get it done now. And I burn myself out, right? But I do. We're in a goddamn marathon, right? We're not in a race, and it helps your mindset. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, guys, this stuff is golden. This stuff is just so golden.
You should be charging for this. I mean, once we get people in the monthly mastermind, I mean.
But seriously, if the limiting belief stuff is huge, I mean, everyone does it. Rachel Haas, Tony Robbins, David Bayer, you know it. But it's seriously true. If you take the time and write out, okay, what really are my beliefs like limit me, right? Well, another one of mine was, I used to think that, like my education like held me back, right? But it's not necessarily the case, right? Because really I learned about this when I went back to school for the second time for like a second degree, and I realized like, holy shit, no one's learning anything. Like, it's like fucking, dude, at college, if you don't go to like Harvard, MIT, some like a prep school, dude, it's like such a fucking scam. Like, boom, 20K, 2 years, 20K. You're like, how the fuck? It's like, you learn so much more working in the workplace and you don't learn anything in school. What school does for you, if you go to a good one, is it puts you in an environment, right? Puts you in an environment where you can network, share ideas with other smart people, and it's just a stronger environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, more immersive.
That's like, then it's not a scam. It's like, okay, then you're like getting something significant out of it.
It's like pay to play. I mean, you pay to be around those people where if you come up with some good idea, you're going to be surrounded by people who can then say, oh, well, my dad does this, or my dad's
networking is amazing. But what I mean by that is, so education doesn't hold me back, because really all that is like putting yourself in an environment, right? Keep putting yourself in good environments with positive people that are successful. I mean, I'm sure you guys have noticed this like in your lives at some point, but I definitely noticed it in mine. Switching industries, like good example is like poker, right?
Yeah.
Super easy. I was just playing poker in my fucking mom's basement, you know what I mean? Like $3 sit and goes. But then I met people that were like the best players in the world. And literally within a week, I was like one of the best pot limit ball players in the world. Because like they just taught me like, it's so simple. Oh no, this is how you do it. No, there's no other way. This is it. And then it gives you the confidence, to share ideas, bounce and forth off. It's insane. Just overnight, you're just like, that was easy. Shit. Now I'm just traveling the world playing poker for a living for 10 years. That was super cool. Otherwise, I would have been stuck playing sit and goes my entire life. Dude, it's all about that networking. It's really
the environment, everything.
Think how much different your life would be if you never met Andrew. We wouldn't be sitting there right now talking to you. Wouldn't be where you are right now.
Yeah, I know. Who knows?
That was such a crazy week,
I'd probably be dead.
You could definitely be somewhere in a ditch somewhere in Chicago.
I'd have a venereal disease or be dead for sure.
Yeah.
No, I think it's working out okay. And I think it's working out okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys should really take the time to write down limiting beliefs and like really write about it and be like, I actually have a book here.
Yeah, I was writing mine down actually.
Yeah. Let me see. Corey, have you ever done this before?
I have not.
Dude.
I've talked about it a little bit with my therapist, like a little bit.
Yeah.
I definitely had the one belief that was really holding me back for sure.
Like what? Oh, I already know what it is.
What is it? Which one do you think it is?
It's kind of deep. I don't know if you want me to like dive into it.
I guess it's like just, coming to this realization that it's going to be difficult for me to generate more money than Ron.
Yeah.
And it's like, so why should I try to do that? It makes it difficult for me to get motivated about a lot of stuff. So.
And Corey, by the way, dude, I've been thinking about this. I don't know if I told you this. I did this. I've also been doing this thing where I pray for people for 30 days without telling them.
Oh.
Yeah. So
we talked about that in Miami briefly.
Fuck, you broke up. You talked about it when?
We talked about it just briefly in Miami.
Got it. You and me need to go to Peru to do ayahuasca. For sure.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Not anytime soon, obviously. But listen, we're doing a ton of research on it, obviously. A ton of research. From my perspective, after doing a shit ton of research for years, obviously, and I've done DMT before, but what ayahuasca does is it gives you access to all of your memories that even in your subconscious. So like it literally just plays out your entire life for you. It just like takes your hard drive and it's just like, boom, it's super fucking clear for you for all those things that you can't see, like because of whatever, your ego, whatever it may be. And it just lays it out for you. We're like, oh, dang. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's like defragmenting a hard drive.
Dude, let's go defrag. We got defrag in Peru for sure.
Gotta do it before October.
Is that when baby due?
Yeah, also Justin, I'm having a baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you told me. Congrats.
Yeah.
Let's do it in October.
October, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we can. Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm super down to roll.
Okay.
Through. Oh yeah, limiting beliefs. Identify it. When did it first occur? Was it true? Is it true now? What is true? What is your new accurate belief? Acknowledge and celebrate when you're experiencing a belief. Dude, I took the time to do this, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like all kinds of things. It's like, oh, it really does, like, your beliefs legitimately are just like your reality. You know, it's like
Sure.
whatever you literally believe, it's just like you shape it. Like your brain is like a filtration device, and you're just like, oh, well, this is how I am, so that's all I'm gonna look for. You know, it's so simple. It literally seems like all this stuff I've like heard over years. I'm just like, that's bullshit. I'm just gonna fucking stay here and play fucking Hearthstone. You know what I mean? But it's true. So it's all true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really do like the AI stuff. Thinking about like, dude, that stuff. It's so interesting for me to play with the idea. It's so interesting. I'm like so passionate about it that I just can't help like that. When I see like some of these people talking about it, I'm like, oh my dear God. By the way, Eric Weinstein on Geometric Unity, he's basically saying that Einstein's theory of relativity, it's like Einstein. It's like when Einstein created relativity, there was Newton, right? Newton talked about gravity, and Einstein basically pulled it back to show you the canvas that Newton was operating on. And so Eric Weinstein's saying, hey, look, there's something else I'm pulling back here showing you. It's called like the observerse, which basically that's where relativity lies on, right? And it's so simple. And the way he explains it, it's like they've been doing like theoretical physics now for like 39 years and haven't made any progress after Newton because they've been stuck on string theory because they didn't take that simple concept that he just talked about and pulled it away. He's like, guys, it's so easy. He's like, it's so easy for me. He's like, the problem is he's pissing off literally everybody in theoretical physics because he's actually runs a hedge fund now. And the guy's just a stone madman genius. And he's just like, oh yeah, it's so easy. I see it so clearly. Let me just show you. I'm just going to come back to Oxford and explain to you guys how to do your job. And they're pissed, you know? And it's and him, he loves it though, because he's like institutional, like PhDs in theoretical physics. He's like, it's all, it's so cutthroat because they don't have so much money, right? And so he's like, so what I'm saying to all my enemies out there, he's like, I want to give you more money. He's like, I want you guys to, because then you guys wouldn't be stealing all my ideas for your own so you can get the grants that you need. You know, he's like, so before you get mad at me, just realize my goal is to get you more money. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's a fucking genius. It's a fucking genius. Anyway.
Yeah, I gotta look into all these guys.
Eric Weinstein,
Ray Dalio.
For sure. Ray Kurzweil is a good one, but he's kind of, I really don't like listening to him talk.
Who?
Ray Kurzweil, the guy from Google, like the genius.
Oh, yeah.
Basically predicting
He's
like
a little, full of himself or
he's a douche.
very cocky.
He's a douche. But the fact that he's cocky because he's made like 150 predictions about technology since for the last 50 years. He's been like 140.
86% correct or something.
Yeah, like something stupid.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we're gonna upload our brains to hard drives in 2030. You know, something crazy. You know, you're like, what?
Him and Peter Diamandis.
Diamandis is good. I got his book. Over there. I got that book, and I got Psycho Cybernetics sitting over there.
The book over there that I'm reading right now. The Future is Faster Than You Think.
Have you started reading it?
I'm about halfway through. Yeah.
How is it?
It's really good. I want to I'm highlighting all the companies in it right now that are doing all these like really cool, whether it's AI or bioprinting, and I want to do a little overview research on all of them and try to like reach out to the owners. But yeah, it's like just a fire hose of like I had no idea all these different companies were doing all these like crazy sci-fi things. You know, like Uber's, they already have like working prototypes of flying cars, and by 2023 they want to roll it out and have little, turn the parking garages into little mini airports for these flying cars. And it's just there's a lot of fun ideas in there.
Yeah, that's cool.
But they're like beyond ideas. They're like actually,
in motion,
money
like
being
thrown at it, billions of dollars. Yeah.
Right.
Do you think that Ron's gonna join us? What do you think?
Yeah. So
I accepted the thing.
I texted him. He texted me back saying, "Can we reschedule for tomorrow?"
Okay.
Oh.
So we'll do that.
All right, no problem. Well, I'm glad we had this chat anyway, guys.
Yeah.
It's been great.
It's fun.
Justin, can you do me a favor? Can you record the Zoom meeting and just shoot me a like WeTransfer so I can save it? This is gonna be our first meeting for the simulation club, AI simulation club, and we're gonna do this once a month. I'm gonna invite people. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, let's get a system around it going.
Yeah. Systematized, baby.
April 14th. Okay.
All right. I'll send you the recording once it finishes.
Cool. Anything else, you guys? What are you guys up to today?
Nothing too crazy. Just had some lunch. Lisa and Shauna. It's great.
How's Lisa doing?
Good. the company is trying to just keep everything moving for opening the India market and the UK and Europe market. So it's looking good. I mean, I think once everything, it'll just get pushed back quite a bit, but yeah, still looking good. Yeah.
What is that? India market for Crown?
My sister works for a liquor company that is an Indian cream liqueur. So it's kind of like a Bailey's, but a chai flavor is the first flavor that they came out with. And they have a mango flavor.
Okay.
They're coming out with a coffee flavor. The chai, though, it's like you really could just pour it into like tea, and then you have like a boozy chai tea latte. It's delightful. The company's owners, like in the recipe, draws from a lot of Indian spices and things like that. So they are looking to expand. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'll have to send you some.
Nice.
So she's moving to Ireland probably by the end of this year. So they want her to open up that market. I mean, it's like trying to think of something crazy in the UK. It's like 40 million cups of tea are brewed and consumed daily.
Wow.
So if you can, capture 0.01% of that market, you're doing okay. It's a lot of cases of alcohol.
It's a lot of tea.
A lot of tea.
All right, I gotta call 3 minutes, boys.
All right, sounds good.
To be a ramble.
It's all good. All right, we'll try to reschedule the run.
All right.
All right. See you guys.
Talk to you guys later. Bye.